What's up, what's up? So, in today's video, I want to do a quick video talking about just Tesla. You guys know I've been breaking down Tesla a lot lately. Tesla and Amazon. And I'm kind of in this longer play, right? A bigger picture play. I've been playing this for a while. You know, Monday was a PR day of mine. That was amazing. I was surprised not many more people swung this bullish. But to everyone in my group, congrats who did that. I only say that because I was actually surprised about how many like YouTube videos and people in the chat lost money on this move up, trying to short it. So to kick things off, I guess I don't know. Sorry, welcome. Where are my manners? If you're new to the channel, Don Fron with the Don Fron Show. I break things down, right? I focus more on the technicals. I really focus on where the buyer's at and where the seller's at. I use that to kind of structure trades. I like to move with the market. You know, I'm a big, proponent, right? Trade the market you have, not the one you want. You don't have an account big enough to move it, so just kind of figure out where it's moving and move with it. So lately I've been talking about Tesla, right? That's what we're going to break down right now. Where I think it's going to go, why I'm still in it, why... Am I red today? I might have ended the day up. I did buy the Netflix dip. I'll do some Netflix with you. Oh, I'm actually down 1,500 today. So, I don't know, a little over 1% down. But what I'm doing is, and I talked about this on my YouTube video yesterday, I'm buying calls for the earnings play. Now, last week, I talked about we're going to be bullish. We talked about the run up, and then I talked about it being a pullback week, right? We need to pump the brakes, pull back, cool off. I talked about that with the Qs, and I talked about with Tesla, and actually Amazon shares the same story. So as it pulls back, what I've been doing is kind of just like accumulating. I'm buying on these dips. Now, I am still holding those, which those contracts are actually down. Some buying options contracts. I do have shares as well. And I did grab a few more shares as well, too, on these dips. But while those contracts are down, I'm still intraday playing. Where are we at? Yesterday, so we grabbed puts for the way down. You know, that kind of safe face. If you were in the mentor group this morning, you saw I played this exact move right here for a quick 1,000. I just grabbed like expiration for tomorrow. I'm just looking for a quick move. Once you understand options contracts, there's so much more you can take away from it. Like there's ones that are going to kind of move fast. There's ones that are going to cost more. They're going to move slower. But they have their own characteristics, and then you can kind of plan for what you see in the market, how you might be able to use that to your advantage. And I can't say I knew, but what I was playing was the bottom of this zone. I was not on the 1 minute time frame or anything. We opened up. I was playing this push up right here. So I grabbed a contract, just take advantage of the quick move. I ended up buying I want to say it was a 1510 call. 1510 call. I spent about 3,000 on it. Pushed up to 40 something, 4,000 something. Sold it. It wasn't until later that I got back in. I got back in a couple of them. Pushed up. I sold one off. Meanwhile, my bigger contracts that I grabbed have August 7th expiration. They are down, right? They took that theta. They took that decay. So I'm still kind of intraday taking advantage of these moves. And what I'm noticing, guys, is what I told you guys is that I really want this yellow zone to hit. I don't think it's going to. That's why I had my alert here the other day to try to buy at 1440. Ended up buying right here because, you know, we're just not really getting anywhere. We're not getting down below. And what this is actually starting to look like to me really looks like someone's accumulating a bunch of shares. We get into these higher time frames. None of this is holding. It's pushing down, coming right back up. Push down, bought right back up, bought right back up, bought right back up. We're not actually closing anything below this purple level. That's kind of where I want to focus. And you know what? Let's bring up volume. People keep asking me about volume. Do I watch the volume? I'll pull it up here, like at least the volume profile. I'm willing to bet all of it's right here in the purple. I bet most of your volume is right here, and that's where all of this is taking place. And I've made fun of this price action that we're seeing I think the bulls, they're not selling. I think this is the shorts just kind of dabbling around, trying not to lose their, maybe shorts covering and then jumping back in, take advantage. Now, this might be something I talk about all the time, like hammer on glass play, right? We keep making lower highs, we break through. Tomorrow's Friday, take profit day. Maybe tomorrow we get the dip buy right here, Maybe that's where it finally happens. Or tomorrow we get that surprise run up, we're rocking and rolling. We've seen this move before time and time again with Tesla. Pushes up, goes sideways, massive move up. We got the sideways. We cooled right back off. Uh, I wanted to see a little bit more of a pullback. So tomorrow, I'm willing to ride this into the red because remember I'm talking about this big picture. So last week I talked about this move. I'm bullish. Next week, pullback week. Boom. Next following week, as in next week, the earnings run up. That's what I'm looking to take advantage of. I want to take advantage of a pump pre-earnings. I want to lock it in, and then I want to, have a free position and gamble earnings. Earnings is still a gamble regardless. We kind of think we know where it's going to go because Elon is trolling the bears, but maybe Elon knows he actually isn't going to be profitable, so he's still trolling the bears right now just to be funny. That being said, it's still a gamble. You can't get too one-sided in this market. You can't get emotionally attached. Whether they're profitable or not, I don't care. I want to ride the wave before it. With Tesla and Netflix, they have this cult following, right? So there's the hype of the S&P. We're buying that hype. I don't actually care about joining the S&P. That's cool. I am more buying the hype because I know the cult following is just looking for the excuse to buy. And that's when Tesla gets these massive moves. It's hard to evaluate a company like this because it's more of a I like this company for what it's going to be. And that's really hard to pinpoint right now. Now, I think they're the leader of tech. I think there's going to be a huge wave. I'm super bullish on Tesla. More, not even for the cars, more for the energy factor. Just if you're new to me. But for earnings right now, what's right in front of us, that's what I'm watching for. So I've been accumulating. I'm adding on while it's down. I'm trying to take advantage of these intraday moves, but those are really more just quick scalps, just quick moves to kind of make up for the theta that I'm taking. Right? I don't have spreads that are theta neutral, right? Where you buy a call, sell the cheaper one above it. Those are theta neutral. So as they take that hit, you're gaining one while losing the other. And it's a very, very actually very profitable way to trade and stay in trades a little bit longer. And I go over options in detail in my options course. That being said, though, so let's bring up the volume profile because I'm willing to bet right now it's all inside here. If not, I'll just manipulate it until it does, right? Yeah, there it is. We have volume profile, fixed range, visible range. I'll just go through them all. Session range. So we got a little bit more up here, a little bit more right here, so right above. Maybe we're kind of working our way down. Maybe tomorrow's volume will be all the way down here. Today, yeah, it definitely was all in that purple zone right here. This is just your line of control. It's a simple volume chart. But you can kind of, if you were playing this chart, if you were playing this ticker, you knew this is where all the volume was at. You knew that's where everybody was buying and selling. That was a decision being made. Let's get rid of that. Let's pull up another one. Let's do the visible range. So visible, just right there. Yeah, you can see once we back out, we know the volume right there. Still, all your volume right now hanging out right here. I kind of like it. I like what I'm seeing there. What the? Get that out of here. What was this? Oh, that was your explosive move up. That's where we went. Sorry, as soon as I... Let's just see where all the volume's at. Where was everyone at? The $800 mark. We knew that move was coming. Let's get rid of that one. Or before we do that, let's go on to... we're on the hourly. Let's crank it. Visible right here. Yeah, it's adding in those days, kind of averaging out up here. Oh, interesting. What do you guys think? I don't use indicators. I don't actually care. It looks like one of those is actually lined up right with what I was saying. Fixed range. Oh, click to set a point. Fuck out of it. What do you mean? Here. Oh, here we go. Boom. Looks like your decision factors here. We're below that, so maybe if you're looking at volume profile, typically it's once you get below, that's the deal range. Once you get above, you're kind of looking to go short, almost like you would all the other indicators, right? Your MACD, or not MACD, your Bollinger Bands, your VWAP. If you're above, that's the resistance. Below, support. I'm not gonna get into that nonsense. But I wanted to actually talk about these two zones right here. I know the thumbnail says buy zones. This will sting, but if we break below that, that's where I'm going to contemplate cutting. So 1380, I'm probably going to be out of Tesla. We would need quite the sell-off. $100, actually not that bad. it can move that pretty quickly. I would still cut it and reevaluate. So it's very possible we gap down to here. Maybe I do cut it. Maybe I try to get back in somewhere down here. Likelihood, probably not likely. But again, it's all for that earnings run up. So I'm trying to position myself for that. I want to, again, ride a wave up. Get one more of these, right? Lock it in. Take those profits and lock in all the profit that I need. So how do you word that? You take the position for 20,000, you make 40,000, so you lock in 20,000 of that, right? So it's just a free position at that point. You spent 20,000, you pulled 20,000 back out, you're in it for nothing, you still have a position available. And that's kind of what I want to do with that and rock that through earnings. So maybe it was just collectively a waste of time. I'm still trading. Let's get into Netflix. But anyway, that's what I want to do for Tesla, and that's what I want to make this video about. Focusing just on these two zones. Focusing more on, this was the speed bump zone. I wanted this to be the dip buy. I kind of want us to get here. I really thought we're kind of suspiciously holding this. So maybe tomorrow is a red day and we can kind of get down here. At that point, yeah, it is the dip buy. That's where I will actually add on a considerable amount. So all eyes right there. We hit that, I will add on. It comes screaming right through. It's going to sting. I'm going to feel that one. So Netflix. My average is 458.58. Can you guess? Can you guess why? Now, to be honest, I actually grabbed both of these zones. 25 shares, 25 shares, and that's what actually brought my average right here in the middle, just above that. I tried to grab more. I thought we were going for it. This only lasted for a second. By the time I even posted it in my chat, it was right when everyone started. I mean, this happened, and actually, I didn't even have an alert. Robinhood alerted me, said Netflix is down after hours. Like, oh yeah, I forgot about earnings. Let's just check it out. And so that was right at 3. Let's see. Yeah, just taking advantage of the overreaction. That's what I was doing. I sold half at 468 as it pushed up into this top zone right here. The other half is still up. Sold half at, yeah, so I already bought. That was at 308. I sold half at 468. Let's see, that's a Don Fran dip buy. That is. So 3 o'clock, earnings happen, or the news comes out, right? 303, average fill, 458.58. I said I tried to grab more, and that's what I was doing, trying to play these zones. Now that was just a bright red candle. Something I do. It's kind of like revenge trading, right? I think these fake candles are the big candles are fake. They're an overreaction. So when I see that, I try to take advantage of that. That's why I bought at 450. Well, I bought here as it pushed up. I already locked some in because how much more does it need to sell off for me to actually lose on that collectively as a whole, right? I just gave myself that much more of a cushion before I'm actually losing money. So we'll see how that reacts later tomorrow. If we stay above these zones, I'm actually going to hold this one. I'm not too worried about the continuation. I think that was more just a dip buy for now. So I'll end it here, guys. Just want to leave it with that. Well, wouldn't be the video if I didn't go over the cues. The cues. Someone's asking me about a triangle, right here, and was that a break? I think they're focused more on somewhere. One of these higher time frames actually looks more like a triangle. It almost looked like a break. But long story short, no. I am not bearish, right? We hit this yellow zone tomorrow. We're already kind of bouncing. As far as the NASDAQ goes, like I talked about last week, this is going to be the pullback week, right? I'm talking about the future. Go watch last week's. I go live on Sunday and Wednesday if you're new to my channel, and I talked about this week needed to be a pullback week. That's what made sense. So I still want us to hit this yellow zone. We only did it once. I thought we might. I thought we'd get there today. We're already turning around, so it's going to be. We need some Friday shenanigans to get back down here. That's a pullback to this zone. If we break that zone, that's probably no longer pullback territory. I'm going to be curious what's going on. I might even take a little bit more advantage of a move from here to here. We're in full-blown crash mode if this bright yellow one down here breaks. So now I will end it here, guys. I want to just make a quick video kind of updating, talking about Tesla and my play with it, and why I am red today, which is 100% fine. I plan on it being bullish, and that make up for it. But I'm actually just accumulating more and more as it drops down. As it hits those levels at the bottom, I'm trying to add on a little bit, and I will aggressively add on at that yellow zone. And that's my play. It's not a day trade, a little bit longer. Usually my swing trades are, I get in one day, I might sell the next day or the day after. This will be about 2 weeks long. So, like I said, a bigger picture play. So let me know in the comments down below. Are you playing Tesla? Was it a boring day for you? Did you trade anything else? Yeah, let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next video.